Good morning, students. Let me start discussing with the question what I gave in the last class, and first we will discuss a solution to this question, and then we will proceed with the other topics in straight lines. The question what I gave in the last class. Let me open that one first. Is the question visible to you, Divansu?
No, sir. Not yet.
It is visible?
No, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Let me share the screen. Okay.
Yes, I know it's visible.
It is visible, right? Okay. The question was that find the angle through which the axes are to be rotated. Okay. So that the equation x root 3 plus y plus 6 equal to 0 may be reduced to the form x equal to c. And from there, we need to find the value of c. So now, in simple terms, what we can say is that, if we draw the coordinate axis, original coordinate axis, suppose this is the original coordinate axis. I draw it in the red color. This is the origin x, o x dash, then y, o y dash. As you see, this is the original coordinate axis, and we have an equation is equal to x root 3 plus y is equal to 6. Actually, this equation, if I can say, that equation should be something like this. Okay. Now what happened? That is the straight line L. Okay. Now what happened? That coordinate axis has been actually rotated. Okay. Suppose it is rotated by an angle, theta. Suppose that means what happened? This becomes my new x-axis. So the general convention is that if we can take this as lowercase x and y, so if we see that this is the original axis is something like this x o x dash, okay, and y o y dash lowercase, and then what happened is that once it is rotated at an angle of theta, this is our new x-axis, capital O, capital X, O, x dash, and that will be the new y-axis. Just a minute. Correct? Capital Y, O, y dash. Got it, no? This is a new y-axis after rotation. Then what happens, dear students, is that then this straight line L is actually reduced. What it is reduced? It is reduced to, x equal to c. That means x equal to c means what? It is actually equation which is parallel to the y-axis. Correct or not? Okay. So how it actually happens that it becomes like this? Okay. So The transform equation, though the picture doesn't exactly shows that what kind of rotation it is. So after that rotation, that straight line becomes parallel to the y-axis. So how it happens? What is the you know transformation? What is the angle theta here? Whatever the picture I have shown here, that is actually a symbolic representation, right? Now, if we work on this particular problem, if you look into it, so that if any point on this straight line was there with a coordinate, suppose P be any point in this straight line, P be any point on the straight line, suppose P be any point in the straight line with coordinate x and y with respect to the original coordinate axis xy. Okay. Now with respect to the new coordinate axis, okay, that is which is in the green color, then what happened? Its coordinate becomes x dash y dash. That means what I am saying is that when with respect to the original coordinate axis, the coordinate of that point, any point on that straight line was xy, which is marked in the red. That means with respect to the red coordinate axis, that is the original coordinate axis, the point P having coordinate x comma y. After that, what happens? After that, that actually axis getting rotated. Okay, and due to this rotation, what happens? The point, that same point P, whose coordinate was x comma y, now become x dash comma y dash with respect to the new set of axis, which is in the green color, x o x dash, y o y dash. Question is that, due to this transformation of this, not transformation in terms of rotation, that equation x root 3, what is the equation now? Let me write it in red color. The equation is that x into root 3 plus y plus 6 equal to 0. This is the original equation of a straight line, right? And this has actually been transformed to another equation, and that equation, let me write in the green color, is equal to x equal to c. That is a new equation. And due to this rotation of this coordinate axis, correct? Then the question is that what is that angle of rotation? What is this theta? So what this happened, this we obtained due to rotation of theta. Okay. So rotation of coordinate axis by theta. Then we know the relationship between x and x dash. So what is the relation between x and x dash? X is equal to x dash cos theta minus y dash sin theta, and y is equal to x dash sin theta plus y dash cos theta. Correct or not? Then we can just this given equation, we can make this substitution, x equal to x dash cos theta minus y dash sin theta. So what we are going to get? Root 3 into x dash cos theta minus y dash sin theta, okay, plus x dash sin theta plus y dash cos theta plus 6 equal to 0. So then if we rearrange this equation, what we are going to get? We are going to get that root 3 into cos theta plus sin theta into x plus sin theta into x plus cos theta minus root 3 into sin theta into y plus 6 is equal to 0. Now, according to the question, this particular equation is in the form of x equal to c. So if we see this particular equation, that root 3 into cos theta plus sin theta into x plus cos theta minus root 3 sin theta into y plus 6 equal to 0, this equation is actually equivalent to the equation of x equal to c. Correct or not? Now, if this is the case, then what will happen? This component, that is coefficient of y, has to be equal to 0. Correct? So this, otherwise how it will be x equal to c? X equal to c is only possible if the coefficient of y is equal to 0. Coefficient of y is equal to 0 means what? Cos theta minus root 3 into sin theta is equal to 0. So from here what we can get is that, so this implies that tan theta is equal to 1 by root 3, and from here we get theta is equal to pi by 6. So the angle of rotation should be pi by 6. That is the first part of the question. So if you go through the question once more, the question is that find the angle through which the axis are to be rotated. And here the answer is that we found the angle, that is pi by 6, through which the axis to be rotated. Okay. And the second part of the question is that if it is x equal to c, find the value of c. How to find the value of c? Let's find it out. To find the value of c, it is pretty simple, because here in this equation we will apply x is equal to pi by 6. If we apply x is equal to pi by 6, then what we are going to get? That root 3 into cos pi by 6 plus sin pi by 6 into x plus definitely that cos pi by 6 minus root 3 sin pi by 6 will be 0, because that from here only we find the value of theta. 0 into y plus 6 is equal to 0. So now let's find what is root 3 into cos pi by 6. Root 3 into cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2. So that is equal to 3 by 2. 3 by 2 plus cos sin pi by 6 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into x plus 6 is equal to 0. So we write is equal to minus 6. 3 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is equal to what? 4 by 2, that is 2. So 2x is equal to minus 6. That implies x is equal to minus 3. Now as we get x is equal to minus 3, which is in the form of, if we make it equivalent to equal to x is equal to c, then what we get? This implies c is equal to minus 3. Correct or not? Any doubt? Please do let me know the answer.
No, sir.
Understood, right? So this is the way to approach this particular question. Okay. Okay, now what we are going to discuss is that we will now discuss about the equation of straight lines. Okay, standard forms of the equation of straight lines. That is the part of the discussion now. Okay. Okay, so the next point, what we are going to discuss is the standard forms of the equation of straight lines. So, dear students, one thing very important to know is that in a general form of equation of a straight line, we will discuss, it is in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. That is a general form of an equation of a straight line. Now, the point is that if you see that the general form of an equation of a straight line, what I say is that ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay, if you see the general equation of a straight line, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Now, this particular equation has two unknowns, right? X and y. What is ABC? ABC are real numbers. Okay. If vary ABC, you will get different straight lines. But here, there are two unknowns. X and y are the two unknowns. Now, when we have two unknowns, X and y, if you recall the general equation of, that solution of the, linear equations, we need to have two equations to find a solution. Okay. And what does it mean? It means indirectly is that to construct a straight line, we need to have two information given to us. With only one information, we cannot, construct a straight line uniquely. For example, what? If I tell you, I have been given a, point. Through this point, how many straight lines you can, construct? Infinite. One straight line is like this, another straight line like this, another straight line like this, another straight line like this. Infinite. So you cannot construct a straight line uniquely passing through a single point. But if I give you 2 points, suppose 2 points has been given to you, these through 2 points, you can construct a unique straight line. One example, as time goes by, we will see that with single information, we cannot construct a straight line uniquely. We have to be, we need to have two, information to construct a straight line. Two data point has to be given so that we can construct a straight line uniquely. Now, based on these two information or two conditions, okay, we can, construct straight line in different forms. And that is the part of the discussion today. The first one is called the slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form, dear students? Let me explain you first what is slope-intercept form. You see, I said a few minutes back, okay, that there is something called two informations given. Here also, in that statement, slope-intercept, there are two information given. One is the slope and one is the intercept. But what is meant by that slope-intercept? Let us understand. First, let's construct a straight line, coordinate axis. First, let us construct a coordinate axis. So this is x, o, x dash, y, o, y dash. These are the coordinate axes. Now, in this coordinate axis, we are having some straight line, something like this. Okay, a straight line. Let me construct a straight line properly. Okay, a straight line, something like this, L. Okay. Now, what is slope? As you know, that slope or gradient is nothing but tan theta. That means m. M is the slope. If you recall, m is equal to tan theta. Correct, no? That is the slope is given. And the intercept means here the y-intercept. That means in the y-axis, how much portion is actually being taken out. So this is generally denoted by C. Okay. So there are two information, dear students. One is that m, that is the slope of that straight line. And the second information is the y-intercept, that is C. Suppose that straight line L intersect the y-axis at the point, suppose A. Then OA is equal to C. So what we get is that OA is equal to C. OA is equal to C. So in this case, when these two informations are given, the equation of the straight line is that equation of the straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. And this is a very important, form of equation. So whenever you see equation is given something like this, a equation of a straight line is given as y equal to mx plus c, you can assume that okay, the straight line is having a slope of m, and c is the intercept in the y-axis. Now, dear students, is that depending on the value of m and c, you can see that you can visualize that what kind of straight line, what is the form of that straight line, and how the straight line is actually oriented with respect to this coordinate axis. I want to show you this thing. But before going to show this thing, I would like to show you that that one information I said, that what is the general form of an equation of a straight line, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and we can actually write in this form. How we can write in this form? So this y equal to mx plus c, from here what we can write? We can write is that m into x minus y plus c is equal to 0. Isn't in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0? If you see this equation, this is in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a is equal to m, b is equal to minus 1, and c is c, whatever. Correct? So this I saw. Now I would like to show you that how, depending on the value of m and c, that how that equation is actually looks like, how the equation is actually that looks like with respect to the coordinate axis. So let me first construct that coordinate axis. So this is x, o, x dash, then y, o, y dash, and suppose there is a straight line, so I will use different colors to construct the straight line. So consider this straight line. Okay, this straight line is having an angle, suppose theta 1, and that what is the intercept? Suppose intercept is suppose OA, and this intercept is actually C1. Okay, if you notice very carefully, dear students, that theta 1 is an acute angle, and that C1, which is the y-intercept, that is OA, suppose let's take it as OA1. Okay, OA1, that is also positive because it is above the y-axis. Sorry, above the x-axis, the portion of that y-intercept, what has been actually taken, you see that OA1, it is in the positive side of the y-axis, that is above the x-axis. So here both m, what is m here? So I'm writing in this color that m is equal to here tan theta 1. Correct, no? And this is greater than 0 because acute angle, tan of acute angle is greater than 0, na? And C1, that is also greater than 0. Correct? Because here it's positive, that's why the straight line looks like this. So what is the equation of the straight line? Y is equal to m, we should write m1, that is tan theta 1, m1x plus c1. Here both m1 is greater than 0 and c1 is greater than 0. Correct? So this is the equation of a straight line looks like. Now let's come to the next point. Next point is something that here what we have to do is that we want to take that the slope as negative. When the slope has to be negative, dear students, then what happened? That theta, that angle made by that straight line with the positive direction of x-axis has to be an obtuse angle, because we know acute angle theta of any acute angle is positive, na dear students. So what we need to do is that let's find this one. So what could be? That is the case 1. What we defined is that is a, you know, C1 is greater than 0. So this is, the digital board is little bit malfunctioning. So this is case 1. What is the case 1? Where M1 is greater than 0 and C1 is greater than 0. Okay. Now let's come to the second case, where we want to see the case of M1 is less than 0, but C1 is greater than 0. So what kind of formation of that straight line should be? That, let me first construct the straight line, a coordinate axis, dear students. So this is our coordinate axis, x. So whenever I draw straight line in digital, pen and board, it becomes little difficult. So y does, and this is the origin. So think about a case where the slope is negative, but the y-intercept is positive. The straight line with something looks like this. If you see this kind of straight line, where the angle made by the angle of the straight line angle made by the straight line with the positive direction of x-axis is, obtuse. So tan of that obtuse angle is negative. So that is, suppose theta 2, and suppose this point of intercept is a2, and if you see this is c2, and that is also positive. Correct, no? So what is that? What is m2 here? M2, that is equal to tan of theta 2, that is less than 0 because it is an obtuse angle, and C2, the y-intercept, that is greater than 0. So what is the equation of straight line we get here, dear students? Y is equal to m2 into x plus C2, where m2 is less than 0 and C2 is greater than 0. Correct? So whenever you get y equal to mx plus c, where m is less than 0 and c is greater than 0, you can visualize the straight line is something whatever I drawn in the blue color. One example I can give you. One example should be something like this. Let me use a different color. So if I say, give an example of y is equal to minus 2x plus 3. This is a perfect example of whatever you see in the blue color. In the previous one, that is the case 1, where both m and c are positive, what would be a proper example? Y is equal to 2x plus 3. You see, both m positive, that is m is 2 here and c is 3. Both are positive. In the second case, dear students, so let me write it down. Here it is case 2. Here it is, case 2. In this case, what we see, dear students, that m2 is less than 0, but C2 is greater than 0. So you can visualize this kind of, curve, straight line. Now the third point, dear students, is that what we are going to consider is that both M and C are negative. Possible. Okay. Or let's consider the other thing. The case 3 is that M is positive but C is negative. Possible. How M is positive and C is negative? Possible. That is the case 3. So let's first construct the coordinate axis. This is x, O, x dash, y, O, y dash. Now let's use a different color. Suppose let me use a color like this. The first one I use green, now blue, now this equation, this color let me use. So in this case, what we want to see is that M is positive but C is negative. So what kind of straight line it should be? A straight line something like this. So this straight line makes an angle, suppose theta 3, with the positive direction of the x-axis, and its y-intercept, suppose O A3, and that is negative, that is C3. Why it is negative? Because it is the negative direction of y-axis, that is the below x-axis. So what is M3 here, dear students? M3 is equal to tan of T3, that is greater than 0. That is greater than 0. And C3 is actually less than 0 because it is below the x-axis, that is the negative part of the y-axis. So what is the equation here, dear students? Equation here is that y is equal to m3x plus c3, where m3 is greater than 0 and c3 is less than 0. So this is what is called case 3. So case 3 is what? That when we get that, m3 is greater than 0 but c3 is less than 0. One such example is that y is equal to 2x minus 3. When you get an equation something like that, y equal to 2x minus 3 or y equal to 4x minus 5 or y equal to x minus 7, you can always visualize whatever the straight line I draw in yellow color, it will be like this. Now, the fourth point is that, dear students, where both, M is negative, C is also negative. Possible. So what kind of, straight line it will be? Let me first draw. To draw the straight line, first I need to draw the reference plane, that is the coordinate axis. This is x, this is x dash, this is y, this is y dash, and this is origin. So in this case, both, M is negative and C is negative. So what kind of straight line it could be? It could be a straight line something like this, dear students. So if you see what I drawn in the purple line, so the angle made by the straight line with the positive direction of x-axis, that is suppose theta 4, which is obtuse. So obviously tan of theta 4 is less than 0. And if you see that the y-intercept, that is OA4, that is C4, that is also negative because it is in the negative side of the y-axis, that is the below x-axis. So what we get, M4 we get is equal to tan of theta 4, dear students, which is negative because tan of obtuse angle, and C4 is also less than 0 because it is in the negative side of the y-axis, that is the below x-axis. Then what is the equation we get here, dear students? Y is equal to M4 into x plus C4, where M4 is less than 0 and C4 is also less than 0. So this is the case of, fourth case, that is case 4, in which case both M4 is less than 0 and C4 is also less than 0. So dear students, if you get an equation something like that, y equal to minus 2x minus 3, you can visualize the straight line should be something like this, what you see in the purple color. So these are the different 4 cases. Why 4 cases? Because there are 2 parameters here. First parameter is m, slope intercept form. So slope intercept form tells that slope is m and intercept is c. That's the convention. And the slope intercept form equation general form is what, dear students? Its general form equation is that y equal to mx plus c. Y equal to mx plus c. And these are the 2 parameters m and c. Now, as long as their positive and negative sign is concerned, there are 4 cases possible. The first case is that when both m positive and c positive. So then the straight line will looks like whatever you see in the green color. Then next case is coming is that here m is negative but c is positive. Then the straight line should be what you see in the blue color. Then the third case is coming is that where m is positive but c is negative. Then you will see the straight line something like what is there in the blue color, in yellow color. And the fourth case, dear students, when you see that both m and c are negative, then you will see the straight line something looks like what is in the purple color in the case 4. So this is the form of that slope intercept form. This is what we discussed is called the slope intercept form. Now let's solve couple of problems together. Then things will be much more clear. The first question related to this, what we are going to solve is something this one. Okay, let me first place the question, and I will show you that how just by looking into the question you can make a very clear idea about that m and c, and how you can find find the equation. So this is the question 1. Okay, the 2 questions we will solve, dear students, together. Okay, you can also open your notebook and start solving along with me. The question here is that find the equation of a straight line which cuts off an intercept of length 3 on the y-axis and is parallel to the line joining the points 3, -2 and 1, 4. So the moment we read the first line, dear students, that find the equation of a straight line which cuts off an intercept of length 3 on y-axis. So this says that, okay, c is equal to 3. That is no doubt about it. Okay, because positive also given, and is parallel to the line joining the points 3, -2 and 1, 4. And when the 2 straight lines are parallel, their slopes are actually equal. That we know. So what is the slope of that line? Okay, slope of that line, what we are going to find is something like that y2 minus y1. What is the difference of the y coordinate? That should be 4 minus -2 divided by difference of the x coordinate 1 minus 3. So this implies what? This implies m is equal to 4 minus -2 is nothing but 6, and 1 minus 3 is -2. So from here what we get, the value of m is equal to -3. So what is the equation? Show the required equation of the straight line is y is equal to mx, that is minus 3x plus 3. Correct, na, dear students? And if we need to just visualize what kind of straight line looks like in the coordinate axis, it is pretty simple. Let's draw that x dash, coordinate axis y dash. Okay, and this is the origin. Here what we see is that x is in that m is less than 0 and c is greater or equal to 3x plus 3. Sorry. So here I should write 3x plus 3. So how it looks like if I draw the straight line? I want to draw in the same color of whatever which case it is coming. It is coming, case 2, okay, where M is negative but C is positive. So let me draw the this in the blue color. So it will be something like this. The straight line will be something like this, where this angle is theta and M is equal to -3. If we consider this angle is theta, so M is equal to tan theta, that is equal to -3 because of obtuse angle. And if we consider this is A, so this A is 3 units, which is the positive side. And this is the equation. The next one, what I am to do, dear students, is something like this. Is that the question 2? Let me place the question 2 in front of you and then we'll solve together. So this is question number 2, dear students. So we will solve together. So let's first read the question. The question here is that find the equation of the straight line which makes an angle 15 degree with the positive direction of x-axis and which cuts an intercept of length 4 on the negative direction of y-axis. So let us first visualize this problem. Okay, if we visualize this problem first, it is something like this. Without visualization also you can find the equation, dear students. So I can say y is equal to tan 15 degree minus c minus 4. Y is equal to tan 15 degree minus 4 is the equation of this one. Okay, so how it looks like, this is y dash, this is y, this is x dash, and this is origin. So here the straight line makes an intercept of 4 on the negative direction of a y-axis. So what it looks like here, M is what? M is uh, positive. M is positive and C is negative. So M is positive, C is negative is which case? Is the third case where M is positive and C is negative. So let me draw in the same color, okay, so that you can later you can make a 1-1 correspondence. So this is our straight line, okay, which makes an angle of 15 degree with the positive direction of x-axis. And if you see the intercept, dear students, so let me do one thing. Let me sorry. So let me write the origin here, and this is the point A, and this length is actually 4 units in the negative side of the y-axis, minus 4. So what is the equation what we are getting, dear students? Y is equal to tan of 15 degree m into x, tan of 15 degree into x minus 4. Correct or not? Any doubt, please do let me know. Now you can find the value of tan 15 degree. Okay, that you can, if you can recall, then it is very good. Or otherwise you can find the value of tan 15 degree, that is equal to √3 minus 1 by √3 plus 1. Okay, so tan 15 degree is equal to that you can find the value, as I just said, √3 minus 1 divided by √3 plus 1. So what we can do, dear students, here, so from here we can find the value of y is equal to √3 minus 1 divided by √3 plus 1 into x plus 4, sorry, minus 4. Y intercept is negative, minus 4. And √3 minus 1 by √3 plus 1, you can again simplify it further by rationalizing the denominator. Okay, and and you can work accordingly. Okay, so this implies if we can complete, so this will be something like that: y is equal to root 3. Let us do that root 3 minus 1 and root 3 plus 1 calculation here. Root 3 minus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1 should be root 3 minus 1 whole square divided by root 3 whole square minus 1 square, that is equal to 2. So that is equal to root 3 whole square is 3 plus 1 minus 2 root 3 divided by 2, that is equal to 2 minus root 3. So we can apply this value here and we get the required equation of the straight line is that y is equal to 2 minus root 3 into x minus 4. That is the equation of the straight line. So this is all about, dear students, about the slope intercept form. Okay. So with this, I would like to conclude the class for today. And the class notes will be available to you in another 15 minutes from now. And then the entire video session of this today's lecture will be available in another 2 hours from now. So what I will suggest, there is no DPP assigned for today. Because we need to cover some more portions so that you can start solving DPPs. Meanwhile, you can just look into the relevant study material portions. And if you have any question, do let me know. Our next class is tomorrow at the same time at 6:30 a.m. Thank you very much.